Hello and welcome back to Leeds Lately for the live watch-along of Leeds United versus Manchester United at Elland Road. In a game where Leeds can continue their 6-game unbeaten streak and make it 7. But traditionally, since we've been back in the Premier League, we have struggled against Manchester United. Hopefully, that's not the case again today. We'll go through the lineups very shortly, but before we do, welcome everybody who is joining us. Welcome to all of our Leeds Lately members. Hope you've had a good few days since the last game where we drew against Liverpool. And, of course, welcome to all of our non-Leeds Lately members as well. Hopefully, this is going to be a good, entertaining game. Leeds in a run of form where you can see them getting something out of this game, especially at home at Elland Road. You can see us getting something out of this game. So let's see what happens, really. It's one of those where it could go either way. Like, as much as they've got players that they've signed for a lot of money, when you actually look at their starting lineup, there is holes there. There's weaknesses. Of course, there could be moments where they open us up and score against us. But if we play our game and we play like we did against Liverpool and against Chelsea and against some of the other teams, then I don't see why we can't get something out of this one. Welcome to everybody who is joining us. We're just about 12 minutes away from kickoff now at Elland Road in a game where we are looking to make it 7 games unbeaten. Before we continue, if you're new here, hit that sub button and also check out the. Actually, I can just press this button now. I think I set it up last time, didn't I? Here you go. If you want to check out my Leeds United prints, you can check them down below on my Etsy store. But let's talk about the lineups then. So Manchester United playing in a 3-4-2-1, a very similar formation to what Crystal Palace play and what Crystal Palace played against us. But I will say that they play in a bit of a different way as well. So whilst it looks like a 3-4-2-1 at kickoff, it would look like Lamans in goal. Then you'd have Martinez, Heaven and Euro as the 3 centre-backs. Shaw and Dalot being those wide wing-backs in midfield, either side of Casemiro and Ugarte. Then in that front line, you've got Dorgu and Cunha as kind of wide 10s in the half spaces just behind Benjamin Šeško. But when they actually are in the attack, they're more likely to look like a 3-1-5-1, if you will. So Casemiro sitting in front of the defence with Ugarte coming forward into those attacking areas. Now, usually that will be Bruno Fernandes playing alongside Casemiro, so that does change things slightly from an attacking point of view for Man United in this game. Bruno Fernandes is obviously a huge miss for them. Let me just check. I don't think he's even in the squad, is he, for this one? Let's have another little look. Bruno Fernandes. Yes, he's not even in the squad, is he? So that's a big bonus for us because he's obviously one of their best players. Most goal contributions, most assists. So, yeah, that is a big loss for them and hopefully a big gain for us as well, because it means that when they have got that midfield, where usually Casemiro would sit and Bruno Fernandes would go forward, Ugarte is also a very defensive-minded midfielder, so he's more likely to sit in a little bit as well, which means they can't throw as many players forward and try and create overloads, which is also good for Leeds defensively because Leeds will have 3 centre-backs, and when we drop in defensively, would actually have 5 at the back. So we definitely outnumber them. So it's about being first to every ball. It's about closing players down in midfield before they try and play that killer ball through the lines. So I genuinely think we have got a chance today, especially given the last couple of weeks. Get your score predictions down in the chat as well below. Of course, if I'm asking you to do it, I should probably have a guess at it as well. I reckon 2-1 to Leeds. Optimistically, 2-1 to Leeds would be absolutely amazing, wouldn't it? And given results in the rest of the Premier League, that would be massive for us. When you're looking at yesterday, once we get a little bit closer to our today's day. So yesterday, Bournemouth lost 3-2 to Arsenal. Brighton lost 2-0 to Burnley. Brighton won 2-0 against Burnley. Forest lost 3-1 against Villa. And then, of course, in the Wolves-West Ham game, West Ham lost 3-0 to Wolves. Now, that puts Wolves on 6 points, so still a lot of points behind us. But I think it's actually better for us that they won, because West Ham were the ones that were kind of anywhere near coming close to us. They're currently on 20 games played, 14 points. If Leeds win today, we're actually going to 15th above Bournemouth, just below Newcastle, 2 points below Newcastle and Spurs. So that would be a real step forward if we could win. If we could win today, that would be absolutely massive for us. And you know what? Actually, if we did win, we'd be 6 points off 5th, which obviously a 6 point swing is quite a lot to gain, but it shows that we are not too far off really where we want to be, higher up the table. So there's promising signs with this side, and hopefully today we see some of that. Welcome everybody who's joining us. Bert Langerstein saying 8-2 to Leeds, 3 pens and 2 streakers. Lovish 1966 is saying 2-2. Dave Giles saying 2-1 Leeds. CB saying 2-0 to Leeds. Trev saying every game we play now, I feel like we can get something. That's the key turnaround. Yeah, you just feel like we're in the game more. Like in previous games, like the Spurs game where we probably could have got something, or the Fulham game where we probably could have got something. I think if we were playing this formation, we genuinely would be much more likely to have picked up points. Because we were in games, but we never really looked like scoring and taking those chances. Whereas now, we just look like we're going to create stuff. We look like we're going to be able to defend competently. I'm very happy with the way that we're playing at the moment. Now, obviously, we've got 57 people in here, and now we're only about 5 minutes away from kickoff. So it's probably a good time to get the scum badge off the screen. Unfortunately, the one at the top is going to have to stay there for the whole stream. Leeds lineup then. 3-5-2 as usual. Perry in goal. James Justin is going to be out wide as the wide fullback on one side, with Goodmanson on the other side. Sebastian Bornau, Jacobiol and Pascal Strout make up an unchanged back three from the start of the last game. Sebastian Bornau obviously at some point looked like he picked up an injury, went off, but it looks like he's actually fit to play this one, so that's good. In midfield, obviously Ampadu drops out. No worries, CB, good idea. In the previous game, obviously Ampadu got that yellow card, which meant that he ended up getting banned for this game. So instead comes in Gruev with Stack and Aronson in front of them, and then Calvert-Lewin up front, this time with Okafor next to him rather than Aronson. Aronson dropping back into that midfield. I think Aronson's a key player in this game, because whilst Casemiro and Ugarte will be dealing with Gruev and Stack, Aronson's a little bit more of a live wire in carrying the ball forward, going past people, opening up chances to pass it and stuff. I think he gets a bit of a free roll because Gruev and Stack will be basically holding that fort for him whilst he plays forward. Shout out to Free Falling, by the way, with a £5 super chat. Thank you so much, Free Falling. Morning all. Hopefully we get a win today. I have Okafor to score at any time. Yeah, look, Okafor as well has scored just a couple of goals this season. He's got himself into some really good positions. He's opened up chances as well. I think that he's due a goal, and it should be good for his confidence as well. So make sure everybody likes Free Falling super chat as well. I think Mateus Click is in attendance for this game as well, isn't he? Yeah, Matthias Klick is in attendance for this game as well. He's come back and he said I think he said in an interview that he can't wait to hear the Elland Road crowd again. It was a shame the way that he left in the end, Klick, 'cause I think he could have carried on providing good service for us on the pitch, but it wasn't to be. But you do see a lot of ex-Leeds players being kind of left with that feeling of that's the club they always talk about and go back to. You can see the pictures in the tunnel now. Both teams are heading out onto the pitch. Here comes Leeds United, led out this time by Pascal Strauch as the captain, followed by Lucas Perry and the rest of the Leeds United team. Welcome everybody who's joining us. We are just getting ready to get underway at Elland Road here against Manchester United in the Premier League. Come on, Leeds. James Mack saying, gutted Mecha isn't starting with DCL. Was fully confident of a good win, but just don't lose territory now. Yeah, look, do you know what? If we draw this game, I'm still very happy with the result. I mean, getting a draw from the top teams and getting a win against some of the lower down teams, then look, you're very happy with that. And also, everybody do what CB said. Leeds United's lineup then is on TNT at the moment. Perry in goal, Justin, Bornau, Biol, Strauch and Goodmanson make up a back 5/back 3 with wing backs. In midfield, Gruev, Stack and Aronson are in behind Okafor and Calvert-Lewin. Leeds bench, Darlow, Longstaff back on the bench, Piru, Mecha, Harrison, Tanaka, Byram, Nonto and Sam Chambers makes a return to the bench as well. Sean Longstaff could be an interesting one to get into this game, potentially coming on for Ilya Gruev a little bit later on as well. Manchester United's lineup then, Lamans in goal, Dallo, Martinez, Heaven, Yoro and Shaw are a back 3/back 5 when they need to be. Casemiro and Ugarte are in the midfield for them, with Dorgu and Cunha ahead of them in the wide number 10s, who will be cutting in and trying to get through towards Benjamin Sheshko, who is up front there. Bench Bayendier, Xerxes, Malacia, Fredrickson, Fletcher, Jack Fletcher and Tyler Fletcher, Shea Lacey, Benedito Mantato and Goodwill Kukonki. Their bench, to me, seems very, very weak. Obviously, they're also missing Bruno Fernandes, which is a big one for them. But let's go back to the Leeds lineup, because we're all Leeds fans here. We're all Leeds, aren't we? And we all want to see the Leeds lineup. Leeds United having a little bit of a huddle on the pitch, having a little bit of a team talk. Looks like Calvert-Lewin's having a few words to say there, already taking up a leadership role at Leeds, despite not being at the club very long. Now, I know what you're saying, free falling, and Tanaka has been really, really good, but having a base of Anton Stack and Ilya Gruev and then potentially Longstaff at some point does mean that we can allow Aronson to get forward and get up in support of the attackers, which I think has been really effective against Palace, against Liverpool, and against, was it Sunderland or Brentford? One of those. He's been very good in like 3 of the last 4 games, Aronson, so I don't really see how we could have dropped him. Although, to be fair, Farke did drop Dominic Calvert-Lewin in the last one, trying to probably save him for this one. But Leeds United versus Manchester United is one of the oldest and fiercest rivalries in English football. We didn't see it for a lot of years whilst we were down in the dumps of the lower leagues, and it is back once more at Elland Road on this Sunday afternoon at the very, very start of 2026. Let's get ready to press the kickoff. Is everybody ready? The ref is wearing a GoPro. Yeah, there is a ref cam. Welcome everybody who is joining us. Leeds United versus Manchester United. And it's live. Referee just about to blow his whistle. And we're underway at Elland Road. Welcome everybody who is just joining us. We have just kicked off as the long ball is headed away by Jakobio. Gruev flicks it on, but it's back towards Dorgu. Away by Goodmanson, but Manchester United still trying to get the ball forward here. Cleared that one by Goodmanson. Straight into touch though, and it's going to be a throw in here for Dalot to go across and take the Portuguese fullback. Casemiro loses the ball there to Gruev. Calvert-Lewin with a great flick to Aronson. Aronson carrying the ball forward. Now Okafor out on the left-hand side. Aronson going beyond him and gets it again on the wing. Aronson tries to cross it in. It's going to be a throw-in. Unfortunately, we don't have Ampadu to take the throw-ins. However, I think Goodmanson's got a fairly decent long throw in him. And also, shout out Pierre. Thanks, Pierre, for this. Remember, click like and don't announce a goal until I've said it. If a goal goes in at either end, please do not say until I've reacted to it because it will spoil it for me. Long throw in by Goodmanson. Ball headed up and out of the box. Gruev heads it back to Goodmanson out on the wing. Goodmanson, ball down the line here towards Gruev. Dealt with, though, by the Manchester United defender. Here's Anton Stack now. Gruev back into Aronson. Stack tries to take it with him, but in the end tackled and then cleared away. Here's Bornau, who can let that one bounce and then bring it down with a bit of time there. Welcome to all of those of you who have just joined us. Leeds currently in possession here in the second minute. Here's Jakobio. Jakobio into Sebastian Bornau. Bornau with a chipped ball down the line towards Calvert-Lewin, who wins the header, but then cleared away there by Ugarte, I think it was. Biol headed on again once more by Gruev, and now Aronson can carry the ball forward here. Here's Aronson. Ball to James Justin. Early cross is going to go straight into the stand there at Elland Road, and it's going to be a goal kick here to Man United. This is, I imagine, quite a tasty atmosphere at Elland Road, and it's only going to get more the more the game goes on. Here's Lamans into Heaven. Now Ugarte tries to turn on it, or Cunha actually it was, and then a tackle from Stack and Bornau at the same time wipes him out, and it's going to be a throw in there in the end to Man United. Yeah, Lucy Ward just saying on commentary, Leeds have probably not had, since they've been back a couple of times, they've not had that much of a chance to beat Man United. But today, they're a weakened side without their best player away at Elland Road, and they've not been performing very good under Ruben Amorim over the last couple of seasons. So let's hope we take advantage of that. Here's Gabby Goodmanson with a throw in here. Long throwing down the line from Goodmanson. Headed away, though, by Yoro. Ball's going to go all the way back to the Man United goalkeeper, Lamans. Look, do you know what? The sun is right in his eyes in this first half. And if Leeds could put as many crosses into the box as possible, he might struggle to deal with... those crosses when it's... when the sun's in his eyes. Yeah, he's very vocal, Daz, and he likes letting people know where he is. And he's literally only 6 months old, so he's a baby and he's got a huge meow. Here's Gruev. Oh, good tackling there by Gruev, and then good use of the body by Goodmanson there. But in the end, the ball was a fantastic ball somehow by Diogo Dalot. In the end, Strauch manages to does really well there. Strauch, he tackles Cunha there, and the ball goes out of play actually for a Leeds throw-in. So he's done really well there. And Chewy saying, yeah, crosses or pings into the box from the edge by Anton Stack. The goalkeeper's got the sun in his eyes. Even just shots from regular shots from distance may give him some issues if he's got to look into the sun whilst he's facing them. Surprised he's not got a cap on. like your old Chris Kirkland style. Chris Kirkland always wore a cap, didn't he? No matter what the weather was. I've got two now. Throwing some of the centre-backs forward here at Man United. There goes Yoro and Heaven. Long throwing into the box from Dalot. Headed away by Calvert-Lewin. Headed back towards the box. There by Ugarte. Lands on the roof of the net. And Lucas Perry can just let that one go. He had that covered there. You'd do a very good job to score a header from the edge of the box against the Premier League keeper. Sorry, I was just listening there. The commentator was just saying that Lucas Perry conceded 7 against Man United in the quarterfinals of the Europa League for Lyon. Between those two legs of that fixture. Goodmanson couldn't quite keep that one in there. Hello. Oh, look, he's making an appearance. So, throw in here to Man United, who's going to take a long throw in here into the box. Dalot, once again, right by Daniel Farke's technical area. Throw in there. All the way back to Lamans in the end when they could have put it in the box. Header there to offside. Oh my God, that is an unbelievable finish by Mateus Cunha. A half volley from the edge of the box just went straight in the back of the net, but nobody celebrated. And I wondered why, and then it's because they were all offside. Sesko wins it, and then it goes to Casemiro, and then it's a really, really good finish from the edge of the box, that from Mateus Cunha, but they were all offside from the goal kick. They hadn't got back in time, which, to be honest, they didn't need to be offside. They were just too slow getting back. Yacobiol tried to play a ball forward there, cut out though by Diogo Dalot. Good cut out there by James Justin as well, as Bornau heads his block away. Leeds just struggling to hold on to possession here, really. Header away by Justin again. Calvert-Lewin goes up for the header with Heaven, but goes against him in that situation. Here's Dalot now out on the right-hand side. He's got Dorgu going beyond him. Here is Dorgu cutting inside. Dropped off to Casemiro. He tries to switch it out wide, but cut out there by James Justin. Justin steps over that one as Aronson passes it back to him. He did dive for it, Pierre. So I don't know if he would have got there. Maybe he didn't dive as much because he saw the offside flag, but here's Yoro. Now into Casemiro. Giving the ball away again, Casemiro there. Gruev, great ball there to Okafor. Okafor up against Yoro out on the left-hand side. Good ball from him into Aronson. Aronson towards the edge of the box. Now Calvert-Lewin pokes it just over the bar. Yeah, Aronson maybe should have shot himself there from the edge of the box, you know. He probably should have shot from the edge of the box. He gave the ball to Calvert-Lewin in the end. Calvert-Lewin just pokes it over the bar. I don't know if it came off a I don't know if it came off a Man United player or not. I think it might be a goal kick. Yeah, taken short though here, and a chance for Leeds to maybe win the ball back unless they send it long like they do. Header won though by Yacobiol. Here's Mateus Cunha now. Good tackle though by Leeds once again. Aronson. Now Stack. Biol. Leeds with a little bit more of a calm, composed possession here. Gruev. Now Bornau, all the way back to Lucas Perry now. Sometimes you need just a little period of a couple of minutes, just having the ball under control, just being able to take a little bit of a breather when you've been under a bit of pressure. Lucas Perry's going to send that one long up towards Calvert-Lewin, who wins the header, but unfortunately there's no one around him. Okafor was a little bit too far away from him there. You need to get players around him when that ball goes forward. Jakubijal plays that one all the way back to Lucas Perry, who takes a bit of a heavy touch and then boots it forward. It's going to go over everyone. That's going to go all the way through to Lamans in the other goal, who has to make a quick clearance there because it was just outside his box and Calvert-Lewin would have got there. Leeds get the ball back here, though. Here's Goodmanson. Now Gruev with it in the midfield. Aronson. He does unlucky there, Aronson, but Leeds win it back through Anton Stack. Ball out wide now to James Justin, who fakes to cross, and now he does cross it. Headed away, though. Justin can go and get it back again and give it to Bornau. Bit of a better period of possession here for Leeds. This now, with Jakubijal on the ball. Here's Gruev, back to Bijal. Across now to Bornau out on the right-hand touchline, just over the halfway line. Now Aronson. Down the line here to James Justin. In the end, Justin doesn't really have many options but to go back to Bornau, who now carries it down the right-hand side. Justin just sitting in for him. Good ball there from Calvert-Lewin. Aronson, he couldn't quite keep it in. Really unlucky there from Aronson and Stack. Good little bit of play, but just too much on it to get Aronson in behind there to cross the ball in. Good idea. Lamans then to take this goal kick. Andrew Thorpe, 199 super chat. Thank you very much, Andrew. Some pennies for the meter. Come on, Leeds. Yeah, to be fair, we've just been back to my mum and dad's, stayed the night a few hours away, so I only got home like half an hour before kickoff, and so the house has not had time to warm up, nor have I had time to get changed. Here's Mateus Cunha. Now Martinez. Now Dorgu out on the touchline here. Offside, though, in the end on that one. It's going to be a free kick to Leeds here where we can push the ball forwards. I think Strauch's going to take it. The Leeds United captain for today, of course, with Ampadu being suspended for this one. Still not taken this free kick yet, the Leeds players. No problem, Ruggy. Welcome to the stream, mate. Welcome everybody who's joining us. Perry with a long ball forward. Flicked on by Calvert-Lewin, headed away though by Martinez. Now Aronson. Gruev. Good little flick towards Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin did come back from an offside position though, so it is going to be a free kick. Tell you what, there's been a lot of offsides already in this game. There really has. The last Leeds United manager to beat Manchester United in the Premier League was Terry Venables. That's how long it's been. Here's Yoro now. Sorry, Heaven. Across to Yoro. Now Diogo Dalot. Ball out to the left wing here for Man United. Here's Luke Shaw trying to keep it in. Has he? Yes, just about, I think. To the edge of the box there for Mateus Cunha. Now dropped off again to the edge. Nutmeg on Aronson by Luke Shaw. In the end, Luke Shaw dives on the floor but gets nothing for it. Throw in then that Sebastian Bornau's going to take on that right-hand side. Referee telling him to go back, though, because he can't go as far. Now he's throwing it in. Flicked on there. Headed away by Casemiro. Head tennis going on in midfield here. Here's Calvert-Lewin. Tries to switch the play there, but it's blocked, and it's going to go out for a Leeds throw-in over on the right touchline. Here's Bornau to James Justin. Now Gruev. Justin back to Bornau. Bornau all the way back to Lucas Perry. Strauch. Goodmanson. Strauch all the way back again to Perry. Perry dummies there and sends Sheshko for the proverbial hot dog. It's been very bitty, this game so far. There's been, although that's a really good pass to Sesko, great challenge by Jakobiol to block that shot in the box there. It's been a game of few chances. I know we're only 15 minutes in. There's been a lot of possession for both sides and not really much done with it. Leeds have had one chance with Calvert-Lewin poking that one over the bar, and then obviously the one that Man United just had then as well. But it's that is a long throw from Perry up towards Okafor. Okafor loses out though on the header. Now here's Ugarte. Back once more to heaven in the Manchester United defence. TNT Sports has completely lost all sound, and they've put in a message saying we apologise for the sound issues. But here's Mateus Cunha coming towards the Leeds box. Fantastic tackle by Anton Stack, and then clearance by Jakobiol. It's been very bitty, this game. That's a foul there by Heaven on Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and it's going to be a free kick to Leeds. Oh, I didn't realise that the ref cam isn't a GoPro on his chest. It's actually like a little camera that sticks out from his ear on the side of his head. Here is Sebastian Bornau. Now Brendan Aronson tries to poke a ball forward there, but he wins it back actually, but then apparently that's a foul according to the ref. And the reason I say apparently is because there's no chance it was a foul. Aronson tries to win the ball back, puts a foot in. I don't think there's much in that, is there? Sorry, but if you're getting chopped up by Brendan Aronson, then there's something wrong, isn't there? Here's Dallo as he takes the ball past Goodmanson. Stack wins it back, but it does go straight back to a Man United player, and then Jakobiol's sliding challenge goes flying forward for a throw into Man United in their right back position. It's been very stop-start and very bitty, this game. It's not been a very fluid football game, to be honest. Sounds back on TNT Sport now. Here's Stack just trying to take that one off Cunha, but he plays it out wide now. Here's Luke Shaw. Back once more to Mateus Cunha. Here's now Lisandro Martinez. Yeah, it's been very... See, the thing is, it's not really been that stop-start in terms of actual, like, stoppages and free kicks and stuff, but it's just been a low-quality game of football in terms of the passing and stuff. It's just not been quite that level that it usually is. Here's Dorgu. Back to Casemiro. Tries once more one of those long swept balls out wide, and James Justin keeps cutting them out. Calvert-Lewin there doing well with his hold-up play. Gruev with a header forward. Away, though, again, once more by the Man United backline. Here's Justin. Stack back to Bornau. Lucas Perry. I mean, look, if we draw every game for the rest of the season, then that puts us on, what, 38 points or something like that? Maybe 40, actually. So, no, it is 38, isn't it? Because we're on 20 at the moment. Okafor cuts back, just gets it nicked off him, but now Goodmanson with a chance to cross it in. Goodmanson towards the back post. It's gone over everybody, but now Stack can pick it back up. Ball back into the box, away again. Once again, Stack picks it up and then cleared away. Finally, at a longer distance by Luke Shaw, I think it was. That's going to be a throw in there to Man United out on the left-hand side. Yeah, it's a really good ball by Goodmanson to Okafor down the line originally, and then Goodmanson's ball into the box. This is what I mean about Lamons was scrambling there because the sun's right in his eyes. And Luke Shaw just managed to flick it away when Leeds were coming in at the back post to head that in. Here's Heaven. Over to Yoro. Now into Dorgu. Casemiro back to Benjamin Šeško. Out wide to Diogo Dalot. He's got Dorgu running beyond him down the wing. Cuts inside now, Dalot. To the edge of the box. Cunha dropped back off to Casemiro. Now Martinez's shot is blocked there by Anton Stack. And that is unfortunately going to bounce out for a Man United corner. It's like they just kind of gave up. It's like they just kind of gave up trying to break us down and just had a pop from distance with one of their centre-backs then. It wasn't great football particularly, and Stack's easily blocked it, but it has led to a corner kick here for Man United. Ball comes into the box from the corner, away, not very far, but there was also a foul on Lucas Perry there, so it is going to be a Leeds free kick and a bit of a chance to get a breather. I'd have to see that again. I don't really know what happened in the box there, but I think there was some sort of impediment against Lucas Perry. Leeds free kick then here for Lucas Perry. Ball forward. Patrick Dorgu tackled there, but still has the ball somehow. But then Jakob Biol's read that really well. Little Trivela pass from Biol out to the left-hand side for Okafor is wayward and goes out for a throw-in. But I thought he was definitely fouled there. Hi, Robert. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Really appreciate that. I'll like that in the thing as well. And also, everyone make sure you go and like Robert's super chat as well. Here's Strauch. Now Strauch again. Goodmanson. Gurev, little flick down the line towards Okafor, who tries to hold it up, but then eventually Gurev does win it back, and Leeds might be able to get on the break here. His Okafor as he comes forward towards the Man United box, poked into the box here to James Justin. It was a real sliding tackle there by Heaven in the box. He had to win that. It was a dangerous one. And it's going to be a Leeds corner kick though. Sorry, yeah, Jason. I forgot we were on 21. I thought we were on 20 still, but 39 points I think would be enough. Anton Stack, ball into the box. It's bouncing around there. That might be a handball. That might be a handball by the Manchester United defender there. As Calvert-Lewin poked it towards. Sorry, it wasn't a defender. It was Benjamin Šeško. So he poked it towards him. He flicked it up onto his own hand. Don't know about that one. We'll have to see it back. But Leeds United have thought we'd won another corner, but it's actually a goal kick there. No, it does hit Calvert-Lewin on the hand, and then it hits Šeško on the hand as well. Unintentional, and he probably couldn't have got out of the way in time. But no problem, Oscar. Yeah, we don't really do that on this channel. Lamans then with a long ball forward. Picked up by Cunha in the midfield. Gets away from a couple of Leeds players. Still going Cunha, but eventually he falls over his own feet. And I'm glad the referee didn't give anything because he tripped himself up. Stack them with the ball now. Over to James Justin and now back to Sebastian Bornau. Justin gets it back once more. The referee is the meathead one who always wears the skin tight shirts. I can't remember his actual name. Bornau then with a throw in about halfway inside the Leeds half. Throws it just over the halfway line. But Man United have won the ball back here. Here's Casemiro. Poked the ball to Dalot now. Struijk is very alive to that danger there and then plays the ball down the line towards Okafor, who can chase down Yoro, who a bit panicked there, kicks the ball straight into touch. Here's Aronson. Back once more to Pascal Struijk. Now Jakobijol just in the centre circle there, looking for a pass. Good little ball from him out to the wing. Thank you to Ankalima12 for the £6 super chat. Great channel, Max. Always listen. Come on, Leeds. Thank you for that one. I'll like that in the chat as well. Everyone, make sure you like the super chats. It's a foul there on Brendan Aronson. Nothing given for it. There's a sliding tackle from Gruev that went well wide there. That's a ball down the line there. And it's going to go all the way through to Lucas Perry. Dorgu wasn't getting anywhere near that one. It was way over hit in the end. Here's Gruev. Now, Brendan Aronson. Jakobijol with the ball down the line. James Justin. James Justin, who I think has been very impressive in Bogle's stead in the last couple of games. I've been very happy with the performances that we've seen from him. Here's Goodmanson. Little ball down the line to Okafor, who's trying to hold it up now. Okafor just loses out and then eventually gets a foul there. It's a little bit of a frustrating... he cuts a frustrating figure... Noah Okafor, because he's had some chances to do something down the line there against Yoro. Yoro seems to be getting the better of that battle at the moment, but there's always a chance that he just skins him and opens up a chance to shoot in the box. Here's Lucas Perry into James Justin now. Justin with a clearance down the line. Calvert-Lewin tries to go over and get there, but Heaven just pumps that one into touch, and it's going to be a Leeds throw-in just inside the Man United half. Robert Wetzel is saying, how's this been so far? The little bit I've seen was a little bit scrappy, but Leeds having a little joy here and there. To be honest, I think you've summed it up perfectly. I don't think there's been any major clear-cut chances for either side. It's been a little bit scrappy, a lot of ball turnovers. No one's really created anything clear-cut. And it's been a little bit of a stop-start game in terms of actually anyone getting hold of the ball and doing anything with it. Just as Leeds turn the ball over and Man United now have it and start again at the back. Here's Lamans. Sends that one long with his left foot up to the halfway line. Here's Dalot. Infield now to Cunha. Dalot gets it back. Now Casemiro, who again goes backwards. We've got Mecha on the bench, Liam, so is always an option. Is always an option to have Mecha come on and help out with the pinning of their back line. That's a ball into the box there for Dalot. Good block in the end by Jakobijol, who had to slide in with his arms behind his back to avoid any chance of giving away a penalty. Dorgu with a really good little chipped ball into the box there for Dalot, but Jakobijol's always alive to that danger and tracking his runner, which is, to be fair, that's one of the other really good things about having a back three, is if you have two in the box marking someone and one as Jakobijol, who's basically the free man who goes over and who goes over and clears anything up like that. For example, he can just track that ball into the box and go and make the block whilst his two centre-backs help him out. That's a header away from that corner kick by Bornau. Now back to the edge, and then Dalot spoons that one over the bar. It's going to be a Leeds United goal kick. Kieran Grennan saying missing Ampadu in a big way. Yeah, and it's more on the attacking side of things than defensively. Like, he'll win the ball back and he'll drive you up the pitch a little bit. Ampadu. Gruev offers you decent defensive output, but he's not really got that kind of get up and go to get the ball forward a lot of the time. And that can be a bit frustrating at times when you see the midfield and no one really wants to be the one to go forward. Obviously, Aronson's trying, but he's not got that physical presence to do it, to be honest. Here's Lucas Perry. Long ball forward towards Calvert-Lewin. Won by Lisandro Martinez, though. Casemiro taken off him by Aronson. Aronson charging forward now. Aronson towards the edge of the box. He goes to shoot. Drags it wide in the end. Unlucky, though. You don't mind that. Look, he didn't really have much of a passing option ahead of him. He really didn't. But if he's carried it that far, why shouldn't he have a shot? Just next time, make it a bit better than that, because he dragged it wide quite poorly in the end. Why is Bogey not in the squad? Bogey's not in the squad because no one picked him. Man United goal kick here. Lamans is sending all of his defenders forward. He's not going to go short this time. He's now moving the ball, and the referee's now going to warn him for time wasting, I think. And now he sent it long. Here's Yoro. Plays the ball back to Lamans. Lamans sends that one back up towards the halfway line. Strauch wins it, and then Stack sends it on once more into the midfield. Casemiro. Aronson wins a header against Casemiro. Now Okafor. Calvert-Lewin. Aronson can't quite get it down onto the deck. It was still bouncing, unfortunately, and it got taken away from him. Long ball over the top. Jakubijol does so well there to deal with the threat of Benjamin Šeško. And that's a push in the back there by Luke Shaw. And it's going to be a Leeds free kick. Yeah, we just need to be careful on the break there that if they do try and send a ball over the top, Jakubijol was one-on-one with Benjamin Šeško there. It's a good job he had the awareness and the presence of mind to just flick that away from the Man United striker. But in future, I don't want to see a one-on-one race between one of our centre-backs and their striker. Good ball into Calvert-Lewin's feet there. Calvert-Lewin looking for an option. Does really well there. Poor tackle there by Dorgu. Definitely gets a yellow card for that, surely to God. Yep, Dorgu on a yellow card now. He slid in on Calvert-Lewin, completely missed the ball. And was that the one against Chelsea, Andrew? CB's just levelled up that joke. Added an extra pun in there. This ref cam's weird. I don't think I've seen it before. It's like one of the. It's like the what do you call it? The Yoga Bonito advert from the 2000s. Anyway, Stack with the chance to pump the ball into the box now, and you know what? This if you put that within range of the goalkeeper, which I think Stack is trying to do, headed into the box, flicked. Oh, Justin tries to keep it in. I don't know whether that's. Justin feels like he was pulled down there, maybe. I don't know what happened on the far touchline by... on the back touchline by James Justin there. The ball was flicked on into the box. Yeah, not sure. We've got a long throw-in to take here, though, by Gabriel Goodmanson. Into the box, flicked on, or flicked away really, and here's now James Justin. Justin flicks it out wide, headed back across. It's a good header actually by Calvert-Lewin, and now Strauch out on the right wing, which is not something we say very often. Header into the box! Hit the post! Calvert-Lewin's hit the post off a diving header. It's a really good ball into the box by Anton Stack, I think it was in the end. Or was it? It might have been Justin. But Calvert-Lewin's diving header hit the post. That's so unlucky. Oh my God, that's close. It's a really good cross into the box. Calvert-Lewin diving header. And hits the post. So unlucky. God, you just need a bit of luck sometimes, don't you? And we just didn't get it there. It's a really good cross, a really good header, and really unlucky not to have got something out of it. Didn't even get a corner out of it. Throw in here then for Man United. Here's Martinez, who knocks it inside to Yoro. Yoro out wide to Dallo. Now Heaven. Played to Dallo. Leeds putting a bit of pressure on here, so Dallo is going to have to send that one long, which means Leeds can win the ball back. Biol heads it back up the pitch. Header by Goodmanson into Calvert-Lewin, taken away though by Ugarte. Now Luke Shaw. Martinez. Casemiro. Heaven. Back across now to Lenny Yoro. Ball down the line. Leeds were able to win that back once again through Jacobillo. Now Lucas Perry to Bornau. Leeds should now, having had that chance, get the bit between their teeth and potentially go and get a goal before half time. Here's Aronson with a good turn there into Anton Stack. See, Stack, as much as he can, always wants to try and go forward, really. You can see there that he, instead of just going straight back, he at least wanted to take a couple of touches, see if he could get it forward. It went back in the end, but here's Yoro now with the ball. Long ball down the line there from Man United. Tackle by Biol is adjudged to be a foul on Šeško. It was just inside the Man United half, so it's not too far forward, but apparently he was a bit too strong when coming up behind him there. Casemiro is going to be the one to take this, I think. When you actually, Roger's asking if, in my opinion, have Leeds got the stronger bench. When you actually look at the benches that we've got, they've obviously got a couple of good players on the bench. But really, like when you look at our bench, some of the players that we've got is like Man United wanted to sign Sean Longstaff, didn't they, a couple of years ago? He's now back on the bench for us as well. I think it's close. I've never heard of some of their kind of youth players that they've got on the bench. Of course, we've got Sam Chambers sat on the bench, and they'll be thinking the same thing about him. But other than that, it's fairly even. Ryan Tune is been a member for 7 months. Thanks so much, Ryan, for being a member for 7 months. Brilliant live stream, absolutely magnificent. Thank you, Ryan, for the kind words. Appreciate that. Man United coming forward again here. Here's Dorgu with a cross, away by Pascal Strauch. I'm getting a lot of lag here, which is rather annoying. Ball forward here. Chested by Mateus Cunha, down now, and then back to him again. Cunha with a cross into the box, goes all the way through everybody, and eventually Goodmanson gets a touch, and it goes out for a Man United corner. That was a dangerous, dangerous moment from a Leeds point of view defensively. We just didn't clear our lines, and you've got to be certain about that. Yeah. He actually didn't really need to do that, Goodmanson, but it's better to be safe than sorry, isn't it? Corner kick then to Manchester United. Yeah, if you haven't already, hit that like button. And if you're new here, hit that sub button as well. I think we gained about 130 odd subscribers on the last one, which was amazing. Luke Shaw with the corner in. It's very deep towards the back post. What a save by Lucas Perry. It was headed back towards goal, and then somebody else got another flick on it and changed direction, and Lucas Perry managed to save it and put it over the bar. He's done so well to save that, Lucas Perry. Yeah, the direction changed right at the last second. Really good save. Another corner into the box now. It's paused, so I can't see what's going to happen, and then a volley over the bar by Mateus Cunha in the end. It's going to be a goal kick to Leeds. Yeah, it was a wild swing at it in the end by Mateus Cunha. It really was. Sorry, I'm just going to reset the feed. Lucas Perry then with a long ball forward. It's going to be a Leeds throw-in the end, though. A Leeds throw-in. A Man United throw-in just in front of Daniel Farke's technical area. Diogo Dalot to come over and take it. Yeah, a draw would be acceptable. It really would. Against the top teams, a draw. I know it's Man United and not technically a top team anymore, but in these big games, to get a draw out of it, as a newly promoted side, I think you're very happy with that result. Ball out wide here. Luke Shaw. Back now into Alexandra. What's he called? Something Martinez. Lisandro Martinez, that's the one. Ball into the box. Away by Leeds, and then the shot there by Casemiro, blocked well by Gruev as it comes back over the halfway line from that block. Picked up here by Heaven. Good header away by Yakubiyol there. Ball goes out to the left wing. Good ball by Stack. James Justin charging forward now on the right-hand side. Justin still going down the wing here against Luke Shaw. Looking for a crossing opportunity, and in the end it's going to be a... I can't tell what happened in the end, whether it was going to be a corner or a goal kick. James Justin still down here. I've changed feeds, so hopefully it should be a little bit less stop-starty now, but it's going to be Anton Stack to take this corner as usual. Anton Stack. Jesus. Sorry, cat's fighting. Anton Stack with a ball into the box there. Not a very good one, and then back in once more. Away by Man United and his Gruev, who knocks it all the way back there to Goodmanson on the halfway line. Long switch of play there by Goodmanson, headed back into the box by Stack, then cleared away in the end by Lisandro Martinez. Bit of a heavy touch there from Goodmanson, but he manages to get it back to Lucas Perry, who slices that one into touch. Very poor from Perry there. Here's Martinez now. Now Heaven. Across to Yoro. Dorgu. Dalot. Back to Yoro once more. Yeah, we don't seem to get that many free kicks, do we, on the edge of the box in kind of shooting range. What are you doing? Cat's going mental behind me. Here is Lucas Perry then. He's going to send that one as long as he can. He throws it as far as he can there. Way over the halfway line. Honestly, that's as long as one of his kicks. Heaven plays it all the way back then. to Lamans. Just 1 minute added on, by the way, to this first half. I think. Yeah, 1 minute added on. Here's Dorgu. Going to shoot from the edge of the box. Drags it wide in the end, and that's going to be a goal kick to Leeds there. I am a little bit Roger, but then I do think that there's two of them, but the cats, that is. I do think that we wouldn't be rushing in to do it on day one, and obviously it's not day one, it's day 4, but you need a little bit of time to get things done, don't you, in the transfer world? I'd like Demirovic in as a striker. I'd like another left back, and I'd like a centre back as well. Lucas Perry then getting ready to take this long goal kick. That is a long goal kick. Well, that's half time. That's half time in this one. Leeds United 0, Manchester United 0, and I think going into this game at half time 0-0. I think you're happy with that so far, aren't you? Really, you're happy with that, really. I'm going to go and fill my water bottle up, and I'll be back very shortly for the second half of this game. I'll be back very, very shortly. Hello. What do we all think of that first half then in that one? Look. Now, some people just will refuse to be happy. I'm sick of Leeds drawing games against Liverpool twice and against Man United at the moment. Some of the best teams in the league beating Chelsea. Like, you can't, how can you complain at a 6-game unbeaten run in the Premier League? It's ridiculous, and it must be just for a joke. Oh, the timer didn't stop. Oh no. Reset, second half. Bang, there we go. It's all ready to go for a second half. I'd absolutely take a draw. Matt Leeds saying Stack and James Justin have been poor. Aronson, our best player, and the one that looks like a create a goal. I think I disagree in some respects. Because I think that James Justin's been really good. I think he's been one of our better players in this one. Stack, obviously, as well, putting the ball in the box quite a lot of the time. No, Clive. You might have just joined before, but I only got home about 20 minutes before kickoff, and the house hasn't had a chance to warm up. And obviously, that also meant that I didn't have time to get changed because I had to do the lineups and stuff. So, that's so unlucky, isn't it? That when Calvert-Lewin hit the post, Strauch back to Stack. Really good cross, really good header by Calvert-Lewin, and then just hits the just hits the post. So unlucky. Oh, if that just nestled in the bottom corner, wouldn't that be unreal? Yeah, let's look at the league table, eh? As it stands, table, not the matches. As it stands, it takes us up onto 22 points, which would take us again 8 points clear of the relegation zone. Obviously, we've had quite a tough run of matches. Who do we play? So again, it's going to be a tough game again, isn't it? When we've got Wednesday at 8:15 is Wednesday at 8:15 is Newcastle away. Then we've got Derby in the FA Cup on the Sunday, which looks... It's the FA Cup, isn't it? It doesn't really matter at this point. Fulham, winnable game. That's at home. Then we've got Everton away, winnable game. Then we've got Arsenal. Then we've got Forest at home, another winnable game. If we can pick up 9 points from the next 9 points from like the next 9 games. I mean, that, to be fair, that is what I've always said about staying on a point per game. At the moment, we've played 20 and we're on 22 points, so we're actually slightly ahead of that goal. But if you can get 1 point per game, I think you're in a good chance for with regards to survival. No problem, Dale. I enjoy doing it. No worries. Perry's save was very good, Ben, wasn't it? Because it took a second deflection and then he was managed to flick it over the bar with a very good save. It is a bit frantic. It is a bit frantic and scrappy, and I don't think either team has particularly stringed much together. And I would like to see in the second half Leeds have a little bit better of a go at stringing passes together. However, when we have put passes into the box, we've had players there ready to attack it, but we haven't done it often enough. And I think, like Clive says, if we put Metcher if we put Metcher in the starting lineup, or in the lineup, sorry, not the starting lineup, then him and Calvert-Lewin can provide so much threat to their back line, can really put them under pressure, I think. But at the moment, I think he's trying to have Okafor in there because you can get him in and around Calvert-Lewin. Gives him a chance to drift out wide as well, try and get crosses into the box, but that's not particularly working so far in this game. So I think switching him out for Lucas Mecha wouldn't be a bad shout at all. Bogle has a calf strain, because somebody asked before. Yeah, all square at 0-0. I imagine that we'll be kicking off again very, very shortly in this one. Draw is a win for Leeds. In games like this, certainly, yeah. In big games against big sides, you get him draws in these ones and then wins in the other ones against the likes of Forest and teams like that. Then you're laughing, really, aren't you? Mark Rankin said, I'd like to see Tanaka in the second half. I think his controlling influence would be useful. We should have more on our bench than them the longer it goes. Yeah. Let's have a look at the Leeds United bench. I know we talked about it before kickoff, but of course it's good to refresh our memory. So on the bench then, obviously the standards of Darlow and Byram. But in terms of players who can come in and add energy to the midfield, for example, you've got Longstaff and Tanaka, who can both play in the midfield and add something there. You've also got Nonto, Piru, and Mecha, any of which could come along in the attacking line and make a difference. For me, I think it should be Mecha. I think Mecha should be coming in up front, and I think potentially at some point Tanaka and maybe Longstaff as well in that midfield. Leeds don't do well against teams in the lower half of the league. Well, yeah, you say that, but we haven't really played too many of them whilst being in this new formation, other than maybe Brentford. So, no, Chambers is a bit of both, to be honest, Roger. He can play out on the wing, he can play as a number 10, he can play as a striker. He's one of those who's not kind of been moulded into his final position yet, I don't think. But he's certainly got talent. It's just, I think we've got other players that will be ahead of him in this one. Yeah, I think Gruev might be the one that makes way for a Tanaka or a Longstaff, for example. I think it's more likely to be Tanaka given the fact that Longstaff's coming back from injury. But I do think that we should make some changes before the game starts to get away from us, which has been a criticism of Farke this season, especially before we changed to this formation, is that he wouldn't be able to change a game when another manager could clearly see that it needed to be changed. So let's hope that he makes those changes before the game starts to get away from us. Yeah, Tanaka pops up with goals here and there as well, doesn't he? Yeah, I think, to be fair, Sam Chambers is probably just making up numbers on the bench today, really. Yeah, but also what you've got to think about is, look, Clive's saying it's one thing being cautious at Anfield, obviously, but we need to go for it at home. For all it's been a good run, we've only won 2 in this run. Yeah, but you've also got to think about the fact that it's certainly a tactic, isn't it, to basically get to half-time at 0-0, and then maybe as the game gets later on and things get opened and stretched a little bit more, to then push for your goal, to then push for that opportunity to try and get your goal against them. So there's a good chance that we get a little bit more attacking in the second half. There is a good chance we get a bit more attacking. So let's hope that happens. The potential to switch back to a 4-3-3 as well. Switch to a 4-3-3, and then you've got Nonto who can play out on the wing and Okafor on the other wing, or put Aronson out on the wing. You've got options, really, if we wanted to change things up a little bit. Leeds players are heading back out onto the pitch now as well. So are the Manchester United players as well. So, like somebody just said before, Perry will have the sun in his eyes this half. But I actually don't think he will, because I think the sun has moved. Yeah, the sun has moved now to the point where it's kind of... It'll be on on Leeds' left back and left wing side of the pitch, but not directly in front of the goal anymore. So I think Perry should be all right. Let me just get ready to do the kickoff. We're underway here. Again at Elland Road. Long ball forward here from Lucas Perry. Ball down the line here towards James Justin. James Justin with a cross into the box. Lamans drops it, but manages to get it on the other side of Calvert-Lewin anyway. Lamans back now to Martinez. Good tackle there by Ilya Gruev. Now Bornau. Out to Okafor here. Okafor looking for a passing opportunity. Gives the ball to Stack. Now it's buffering, so that's good. Stack on the edge of the box with it. Just as it decided it was going to buffer. Like, why was it working all through the adverts perfectly, and then as soon as I actually want to watch it again? Here's Aronson. Now Yacobillo. Aronson. Out wide now to James Justin. Aronson tries to play it back down the line. Can't get it past Shaw in the end. Little game of head tennis between Cunha and Sesko there, but eventually Leeds win it back. Here's Aronson. Now Justin knocks that one back to Yacobillo. So Leeds bench: Caldalo, Sean Longstaff, Joel Pirout, Lucas Mecha, Jack Harrison, Tanaka, Byram, Nonto and Chambers. He's done well there, Okafor. He gets past his defender, and then Heaven tackles him, and it is going to be a Leeds throw-in right by the corner flag. Throw-in then now to Leeds. It's going to be Goodmanson to take this long throw-in. Goodmanson with the long throw. Flicked on. Calvert-Lewin's pushed away in the end by Martinez, and he's able to clear it. Went over everybody, that long throw. A couple of bounces in the meantime, but it did. James Justin's had to head that one backwards because he's under pressure there from Sesko. Ball slid through to Sesko out on the left-hand side here. Sesko has to play that one backwards in the end to Ugarte. There was an advantage in there as well for a push on a Man United player. But now that one's gone, and we're back with Heaven in the centre circle. Now Yoro. Out wide there to Dallo. Now Casemiro. Heaven back across to Martinez. Into the midfield here now. Luke Shaw. Now Mateus Cunha. Can't give him too much room, but Stack does enough to intercept that pass. Little ball from Gruev into Aronson. Aronson should have played that first time pass into Calvert-Lewin's feet there and then got on his bike, but instead he turns round. He hesitated a bit there and he has to go backwards in the end. Goodmanson plays that one back now to Pascal Struijk. Now Gruev. To be honest, this second half, I know we were only 3 and 3/4 minutes into it. It started very much like the first half ended. So at some point, you've got to imagine that one of the managers is going to blink first and make a substitution, change things around a little bit to try and change this game, whether that's a formation change or simply a personnel change. Yes, is yet to be seen, but I really wouldn't mind bringing on Mecha for Okafor, putting a bit more pressure on their back line, sending more long balls forward, trying to get players in and around them. Offside against Man United there from that long kick from the goalkeeper. Yeah, especially as well, Anto. So Anto's saying there, I'll put it on the screen actually. Anto's then saying, Biol sent every ball forward to Dominic Calvert-Lewin against Liverpool. Should do the same now. He seems hesitant. And as well, that was a game where Van Dijk and Konate are going to win most of the headers, aren't they? Because of how good and physical and strong in the air they are. Whereas in this game, you fancy Dominic Calvert-Lewin to win more. He did then, and the ball bounced through to Aronson, and he couldn't quite get there before Yoro came and cleared it up. But it is going to be a throw into Leeds. Again, that was just a long ball forward. Calvert-Lewin got in the way and made a nuisance of himself, and Aronson was nearly through on goal just because of that. Goodmanson is coming across from left back to take this one right by the corner flag on the opposite side of the pitch to where he's been playing. Throw in now for Leeds. Gruev and Aronson and Stack waiting on the edge. Biol, Calvert-Lewin, Bornau, Strauch all in the box for this. Long throw in comes in. Flicked on. Goodmanson. Good save by the goalkeeper, and that's going to be corner kick to Leeds. Goodmanson took the shot there from a tight angle, but he made the goalkeeper make a save, and that's all you can ask for, really. I don't know if it was even on target, to be honest, but to win a corner from there is not bad. I think it might have been sneaking in the bottom corner, but good save from Lamans. A savable one, but he had to get down to it, and it's going to be a Leeds corner kick here. Stack to take. Stack floats one into the box, headed out to the edge. Oh, now they're away here, Man United, because Gruev hesitated on that one. Aronson needs to get there past Dorgu. Aronson's done so well there, but Dorgu's still going. I thought he'd managed to get it away, Aronson. He did so well to track and go back, and then eventually the shot from Ugarte from the edge of the box is wild and flies past the post. A real chance for a counter-attack there for Man United, and Leeds. Yeah, Gruev really kind of chickened out of that halfway through. Yeah, a wild swing at it in the end, and it goes flying wide, sliced by Ugarte in the end. Perry sends that one long. Calvert-Lewin surely was pushed in the back there by Martinez. That's going to be a Leeds throw-in, though. In the second half, so far in the opening 7 minutes, Leeds have had 71% possession. Yeah, wouldn't mind that Celtic Warrior. Bringing off Gruev for Longstaff or Tanaka. I think Longstaff maybe is going to get less time because he's returning from injury, but there's every reason why Tanaka could come on and do that job and be a little bit more progressive with his play. Here's Yoro. Now Casemiro. Now Lisandro Martinez. Here's Cunha. Remember, guys, if a goal goes in this game, please do not let me know until I have reacted to it. Here's Mateus Cunha. Completely bullied off the ball by Sebastian Bornau there. Surely that's a foul on James Justin. It's not, and he's lent into him, and now he... Good challenge there by Jacobillo. Aronson needs to now get back to stop that cross. Dropped off in the end to Casemiro. Casemiro with an outside of the foot ball into the box, headed wide by Sesko. I think he would have been offside anyway. But that was a bit of dodgy defending there from Leeds. I think James Justin assumed he was going to get the free kick there, and he just kind of fell to the floor. Yeah, that's another one. I think bring on Okafor, bring off Okafor, bring on Mecha, take off Gruev, bring on Tanaka. Just gives you a bit more when you're trying to play the ball into the box then, doesn't it? And when you're trying to play the ball long. The referee saying something here to Lucas Perry. I don't know whether it's about time wasting. So Lucas Perry now getting ready to take his kick. He's asking, Strauch's asking the ref what he was having a word with Perry about there. I'm not sure still really what it was, whether it was time wasting or what, but Leeds have now got the ball. Here's Anton Stack. Good ball into Okafor. Okafor trying to go down the line past Yoro. Here's Okafor striding into the box. Wins Leeds a corner kick. He's done well there, Okafor. Yeah, he did well there, Okafor. And to be honest, I think his actual cross into the box wasn't going to be that good towards Calvert-Lewin, and the corner was probably the best case scenario there. 4 corners each so far in this game. It's been fairly even. You wouldn't think that the game was who it was, if you get what I mean. Oh, that goes over everybody. Lamon's flapped at it. I think he might have got a touch. You wouldn't think it was Leeds versus Man United this game. It's been a very scrappy game, and both teams look... If you told me both teams were newly promoted, I wouldn't bat an eyelid. Anton Stack then going across to the other side now to take another corner kick. Lisandro Martinez is being a little dweeb to Calvert-Lewin there, I think. Why is there there's 6 Man United players on Calvert-Lewin. Genuinely, 6 Man United players like surrounding Calvert-Lewin. That's how much aura Calvert-Lewin's gained in the last few games. He's got, like, at that time, he had like 6 Man United players trying to mark him. Ball into the box, headed away. Aronson picks it up, though. Does well there, Aronson, defensively. Goodmanson switches that back out wide to Anton Stack. Stack with a fantastic sliced cross into the box. Headed away, though. Now away by Cunha. Headed back into the fray by Jacobiol. Handball that by Cunha, but nothing given. And that's going to be a Leeds throw-in. Surely to God that's a Leeds throw-in. It came off his hand. And now Cunha's fell over the concrete advertising thing. I think it was a bit of a shove from someone. Yeah, it definitely came off Anton Stack. Yeah, Justin gives him a bit of a shove, but he's also shoving Justin as well at the same time. Oh, it was a Leeds throw-in. Aronson's done well there. He just got past his man, but his touch was too heavy. Unlucky there from Aronson. He's tenacious, Aronson. You've got to give him that. He's always trying to get to that ball. And sometimes defenders think they've done enough to get it away from him, and he's still going at them. Here's Lisandro Martinez. Now Luke Shaw. Dropped back off and then knocked forward again, but Leeds can win that back. Here's Strauch. Strauch lifts it forward back towards Aronson and Calvert-Lewin, headed away by Heaven. Now Strauch battling away here with Ugarte. That's going to be a foul by Dallo, and it's going to be a Leeds free kick there, just on the halfway line, really. Yeah, Goodmanson had a right handful of Dallo's shirt there. I'm not so sure it would have been a free kick if he'd have seen that. I can see how it looked like a free kick from behind, but... Well, Leeds have got a free kick on the halfway line. If we can send it forward towards the box. Although it is on the halfway line. So it's a difficult one to actually get anything out of. And they've pulled a fair few players forward to stop us taking it short, really. I think he is now sending people long. Little switched ball there. Headed away by Luke Shaw. Out wide now, poked by... Born out into the box. Aronson went down there in the box, but nothing really to it. Touched by James Justin in the end on that tackle, and then it's going to be a throw into Man United. I think there is some Leeds United players warming up. I can't quite tell who it is from the distance that the camera is away, but I do think some substitutions are in order here. Yeah, look, I think Mecha really helps Calvert-Lewin in and around the box, doesn't he, by distracting players and being physical enough to tussle with them. Jacoby felt like he was fouled by Dorgu then, but the ball's still in play after his clearance. Gruev can't quite keep that one in for Aronson, and it's going to be another throw into Man United. It's gone very bitty again. A lot of misplaced passes, a lot of tackles, just knocking the ball into touch. And I'd like to see some changes soon. Well, if we turn it into a 4-3-3, then I wouldn't mind seeing Aronson put out on the wing so he can still affect the game, and then bring on Tanaka in the midfield. Casemiro now. Good tackle there by Pascal Strout, but unfortunately it's gone straight back to a Man United player, and then Pascal Strout makes another good tackle and leaves the Man United player in a heap. 2 in a row there, which has won many points in the Leeds United fan base eyes. If you can leave a Man United player in a heap, then you go up in a lot of people's estimations. Strouk's just going to knock that one into touch there. It's going to be a throw into Man United and potentially some substitutions soon. Here's Yoro, pokes it forward. Little ball forward to Dorgu, but cleared by Leeds there. Aronson might be able to get there, and he does. He gets there, and he shoots! Aronson! Leeds have scored! 1-0 to Leeds! He's put it in the bottom corner! We were just talking about potentially taking him off, and Aronson runs through on goal, puts it in the bottom corner. Leeds 1, Scum 0. Come on! He's just alive to it. The ball gets played back and he just gets there ahead of Heaven. Takes it past. Can't make a tackle because he's from behind him. And he just slots it in the bottom corner. Fantastic. Gruev just gave him a big smooch on the forehead. Aronson has just slotted it in the bottom corner to make it 1-0 Leeds. Come on. Yeah. Strouk, I think it was just a Strouk thought it was just a clearance, and then he realised he'd put him in through on goal, and he just slots it in the bottom corner. It's a great finish with his weak foot. Yeah, he does so well, Aronson, because you have to run across the man so he can't get near you, and he just slots it in the bottom corner. Yeah, the Leeds fans are absolutely screaming the house down now. Aronson's had a good game, and he's his third goal in 55 Premier League appearances. But let me tell you, over the last couple of games, he's really made a difference in this side. Having that free role against him has really unlocked him. I think Man United have switched into a 4-4-2 now, by the way. Oh, Joshua Zirkzee has come on. Here's Dallo playing the ball back to Lamans. Now Heaven. Back across to Martinez now. I did talk about this in my tactical preview, that how they can drop into a 4-2-3-1 and then play the ball forward with more men up front. But it looks like they might have actually gone to a 4-4-2 in this game. Ball forward, just a little touch by Stack, but not enough to take it away. And then Bornau with a good challenge there. Good clearance there by James Justin. And cleared away by Heaven, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin can't quite get there. Here's Casemiro. Now the ball with Lisandro Martinez. Back to Heaven in the centre of the Man United defence. Here's Joshua Zirkzee trying to play a ball down the line. That's 1-1. So easy. So easy. 1-1. Scum. He just slotted a ball straight through to him, and he just slotted it past the goalkeeper. So easy for them. I don't know how that happened. I'll have to see it back. Played it into Zirkzee. One ball through the back line. Biol gets sucked out, and then there's that no one can quite make it to him, and he just slots it past the goalkeeper. Yeah, he should have stayed. He should have stayed on his line there, Perry. He should have stayed on his line and just closed the angle. Well, do you know what? We're no better off or no worse off than we were about 4 minutes ago. It's just like it's gone back to 0-0 again. Yakabiyol. Now Bornau. Justin tries to play a ball down the line, but that's going to go all the way through to Lamans in the Man United goal. Yeah, you've either got to come flying out and really commit to it as a goalkeeper, or you've got to stay on your line. You've got to make one decision and stick with it. And he did half there. He really did half. Here's Zirkzee again, who got the assist for the goal. Here's Sesko. Now Cunha again. Trying to play a ball forward. James Justin cuts it out. And away by Bornau there. Calvert-Lewin does really well there to hold that one up. Eventually gives it to Bornau. Sends it long, but he just gives it straight away back to the Man United defence again. Look, that flurry of goals there in the last kind of 4 minutes, it's set us back to where we were before that. So, look, we're back to 0-0. Let's go and get another one, eh? Here's Heaven. Back now to Dalot. Essentially, both of the goals were from a defensive mistake. Yeah, look, I think we can definitely make some changes here to affect this game. Okafor doing well there to hold that up. Calvert-Lewin back now to Gruev. Goodmanson. Pascal Struijk. Leeds end up, when we're under a lot of pressure, we do end up just kind of chipping the ball forward towards the front line. And if you are going to have to do that, I think if you bring Mecha on, if you've got Mecha and Calvert-Lewin, they have a much higher chance of actually holding the ball up and keeping the possession in those areas than what we have if we've got Okafor there. Another free kick to Leeds here. Chance to pump the ball forward towards the edge of the box. Anton Stack to take it. Stack clips that in towards the box. Headed away. Aronson manages to get around Ugarte here. Oh, he's lost the ball there, Aronson, against Casemiro. Casemiro's never going to go on a big mazy run, though, is he? And Leeds have won the ball back. Here's Stack. Good ball down the wing here. Okafor tried to play it into the box, but it's cleared away. It wasn't a very good cross, but cleared away by Heaven. But it's going to be a Leeds throw-in, so Goodmanson can come across and take a long one. Leeds players all getting ready for this one to come into the box. Flicked on here. Here's Okafor. Oh, overhead kick by Okafor. And the goalkeeper saves it. It was very close there. If it had a bit more power on it, he's not getting there. It's a good save, and it was a really good effort. Goodmanson then getting ready to take another long throw in here. Good throw in by him, headed away, but it's going to be a Leeds corner, I think. Yes, it did. It's a Leeds corner now. No, he's been given a goal kick. That's horrendous officiating. Well, I think it's time to make some subs. No, it was a corner. Rightly so. Everyone was expecting Leeds to get a corner because so Lamans with a goal kick that should never have been a goal kick. Could have scored from that corner or anything. Tanaka for Gruev and then maybe Mecha for Okafor as well at the moment would be the ones I'd be looking at making. It's a foul there by Goodmanson. He can complain, but it definitely was. We've got to make some subs now, I think. I think we've got to make some substitutes now. I think, yeah, you are looking at Tanaka for Gruev and Mecha for Okafor for me would be the ones to make. Bornau with a good challenge there. Now Aronson. Oh, he tries to slip the ball through to Calvert-Lewin. It just gets cut out. Good idea, though, from him, trying to play that ball early through to him. Calvert-Lewin had made the run. Ball forward here from Cunha that's going to be way too far for Xerxes. It's going to bounce all the way through to Lucas Perry, who rolls it out for Strauch. Man United haven't kept a clean sheet on the road since last March, apparently. That ball's going to go all the way through to Lamans. Ooh, a bit of play out from the back there from Man United to bypass the Leeds press, but hopefully Leeds can get enough players back. Ball into Šeško here. Still got the ball, but good tackle by Gruev. But unfortunately, the ball just keeps bouncing back to Man United players. Dorgu away by Strauch, and now Gruev gives it into Aronson's feet. Aronson's done well, giving it to Goodmanson. Now Okafor. Okafor tackle, but it's a throw into Leeds, and we get up the pitch a little bit. Yeah, Lucas Mecha is getting ready to come on, apparently. I hope it's not a straight swap for Calvert-Lewin. I'd like to see them play together again. Here's Gruev. Ball back to Yoro. Sorry, Heaven it was. And now across to Martinez. Sorry, Yoro's gone off the pitch, hasn't he? So, yeah, it wouldn't be him, would it? Martinez now. Still carrying it forward. Aronson just doing a little bit of pressing, and now Calvert-Lewin as the ball goes to Dalot. Dalot into the feet of Šeško. Still kept the ball there, Man United, somehow, and now Xerxes gives it out wide to Cunha on the left. Ball out to the left-hand side. Xerxes puts it across the box, and Šeško misses very, very close there for Man United. Leeds need to be really careful here. We don't concede a second. He just tried to side foot it in there, the Man United striker. I think there's going to be a substitution for Leeds, by the way. Yeah, Okafor is the one to come off. And that's going to be Mecha coming on for him. think it's just a 1-for-1 change at the moment. There's only one change Leeds are making, and it's to put Metcher on up front alongside Calvert-Lewin to try and make that ball stick a bit better. Calvert-Lewin, he just can't quite get that touch there. Here's Heaven. Back now to Dallow. Plays it all the way back to Lamans in the end. Pascal Strauch heads that one away, that long clearance by Lamans. Good tackle again by Strauch. Gruev gets a little touch on it, but it goes straight to Heaven. Now Casemiro. Mateus Cunha now. Well done by Sebastian Bohr now in the end, but he fouls Luke Shaw after that. Here's Lisandro Martinez. Now Heaven. Back to Diogo Dalot. Little ball forward, headed by Strauch, and then headed away by Biol. Stack's little header there went straight to Casemiro. James Justin just trying to force them back here. Here's Lisandro Martinez again. Here's Heaven again. Lamans then with another long ball forward. Away by Strauch, but straight to Xerxes. Tries to play a ball over the top. Straight into Lucas Perry's gloves. Now Strauch. Do you know what? I think my prediction is over the next year or two, we're going to see a resurgence of the two striker formations. I think we're going to see many more teams playing systems with two strikers up front. I think just having that extra support in there is really helpful. Goodmanson's gone past Dorgu there. Now Goodmanson's still trying to get a chance to play the ball in the box. Goodmanson saying that should have been a corner kick because the Man United defender got a touch on it. Well, he's made one sub. Metcher's on, but I'd like to see something in the midfield potentially for Gruev. Here's Xerxes. Anton Stack trying to chase him down. Good little touch by Stack, and then a good foot by Bornau. And now Calvert-Lewin. I couldn't quite poke the ball out wide to Metcher. There's a lot of nearlies in this game, of nearly getting the ball back, nearly getting a little nick on it, a little touch on it. Come on, Stack. He's flicked that onto a Man United player there. Seems to be that the game's getting away from us a little bit. Good defending, though, by Pascal Strauch. Strauch tries to play a ball forward, and he just lumps it into touch. Well, Nonto and Tanaka are now getting ready to come on. Yeah, Tanaka and Nonto getting ready to come on. Long ball forward from the goal kick from Lamans. Xerxes tries to play it forward to Sesko. Perry is out off his line quicker this time and can clear that one into touch. They've been a lot better since they've brought on Xerxes and had that two-striker situation up front. So let's hope that our substitutions can change the game in a similar way for us. But they're not on quite yet. Xerxes with a good turn to get away from Strauch. Now a ball forward towards Dorgu. Goodmanson does really well, and it's going to be a free kick to Leeds. It might do, Daz. We might go into a 4-3-3. Might put Metcher out on the wing, but I wanted to see him play up front with Calvert-Lewin close to each other, working off each other. Substitution for Leeds then. Ilya Gruev is coming off. for Ao Tanaka. Sebastian Bornau is coming off. And Nonto is coming on. Obviously, Nonto's not playing as a centre-back, but he got switched on for him, so it should give you an idea of just who's on the pitch, basically. So it looks like we're going for a 4-3-3, to be honest. Justin at right back, Biol and Strauch centre-backs, Goodmanson left back, and then it looks like we're going back into that 4-3-3. Does well there. Mecha pokes it on one more, but unfortunately it's going to go all the way through to the goalkeeper there. Yeah, Tanaka will sit in the middle, I think. Stack on one side of him, Aronson on the other. Oh, Tanaka's just been nutmegged. Ball over to Xerxes. Now Dorgu. The shot from Cunha hits the bottom of the post and goes wide. No, I think it's more like a 4-3-3 again. It might be a 4-4-2, but he might be trying to match them up, essentially. I think Lucas Perry had that covered if it was going in. Yeah, he had it covered. If it was on target, I think Perry saves that. Long ball forward there from Perry. Flicked on by Calvert-Lewin well. Oh, it was a really good little ball from Mecha back to Nonto, but Nonto was going the wrong direction and couldn't quite get to it. Martinez with a switch of play there. Here's Dorgu. Back to Dallo, who's just hoofed that straight up in the air. Really good touch there, to be fair, by Xerxes, and it's going to be a foul by Goodmanson on Dorgu, and it's going to be a free kick. Here's Xerxes trying to play the ball back down the line. I mean, Dorgu ran straight into Goodmanson there, so I don't know what he expects. He can't get out of the way. Strauch. Goodmanson wins Leeds a throw-in. Come on, Leeds. Yeah, look, they've not got Bruno Fernandes. They've not got a couple of other key players. Like, this is the chance really to beat them. This is the best chance we've had. I'm fine if it ends 1-1. I am actually fine if it ends 1-1. But I'd love to win. Here's Nonto. Yacobiol with a good little touch to get him away from Ugarte there. Tanaka. Biol. Good ball from him into Nonto's feet. Nonto out wide now to James Justin. Back into Nonto's feet. Oh, a little poked ball, but Leeds nearly get through. Here's Calvert-Lewin with a little flick to Tanaka. Tanaka goes down in the box. I don't think there's any chance that was a foul, but they clear the ball here. But again, Leeds are... Yeah, there you go. Nonto's won the ball back. Leeds are looking a little bit more like creating something here, although we have just given the ball away again. Here's Lisandro Martinez. Chips the ball to Mateus Cunha, who is playing left mid now. Pushed over there by Nonto. It's going to be a free kick to Man United here. Header by Goodmanson has gone straight up in the air for Dorgu. Now Aronson just backing into Dallo. Tries to keep the ball. Here's Sesko back to Xerxes. Sorry, Dorgu. Xerxes waiting in the middle. They've got quite a similar haircut from a distance. Here's Aronson. Tackled there by Dallo. I think we might need to see Longstaff come on for Aronson, you know. Just some fresh legs. Here's Heaven. Here's Casemiro. Now Ugarte. Casemiro again. Out wide now to Dorgu. Inside to Xerxes. Again once more to Ugarte. He's got Martinez joining him. Early cross is cleared easily by Yakabiyol there. Martinez's touch has allowed Stack to get back on the ball. Now Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin feels like he was maybe fouled there, but just tackled fairly adjudged by the referee, and Leeds need to stop giving the ball away in those situations. Dorgu tries to cross that. Away by Stack. Calvert-Lewin does well to get in there, but then Aronson heads it forwards. Calvert-Lewin trying to get on the other side of Heaven, but can't as it's played all the way back to Lamans. Ball forward by Lamans. It's going to go all the way through here to Lucas Perry. Come on, Leeds. Let's be the ones to finally get a late winner, eh? By the way, no spoilers in the chat. If a goal goes in, please don't tell me about it until I've reacted to it. Here is James Justin. Tries to play it down the line, but it's not a very good pass at all to Nonto. Just goes way over his head. You don't really want to be putting balls up in the air when you're trying to pass them to Nonto. Good tackle there by James Justin. Well, Leeds are going to bring on Joel Pirou. Brendan Aronson at last is going to come off after a very good performance and a good goal. But he does look tired now, Aronson. He's run his socks off. Here's Martinez. Back now, again to Casemiro. Now Heaven once more. Carrying the ball forward here. Xerxes dropping off to receive it. Now Dallo. Heaven again. Left-footed switch. It's headed away by James Justin. Now Wilfred Nonto charges inside. Good ball to Anton Stack. Leeds have got a break on here. Stack still going. Stack out wide to Joel Pirou, who shoots just over the bar. Good shot by Pirou, just over the bar in the end. I think it's his first touch, to be honest. He just takes it first time and it just lands on the roof of the net. It's just too much on it. Yeah, Lamans didn't move. There was no chance he was getting that. Unlucky there from Joel Pirou. He's sure. Now back to Martinez. Back to Heaven. Diogo Dallo. Lamans. Sends it long with his left foot. Pirou challenges, but eventually it drops at the feet of James Justin. Now Joel Pirou. Does well there to get the ball to Stack Pirou. Out wide now for for Goodmanson. Goodmanson trying to go past Dorgu. He's done well there, Goodmanson, and he's won Leeds a throw-in. Come on. Come on, Leeds. 2 minutes of regulation time, plus whatever's added on. Come on, Goodmanson. Throw this one into the box. Get a flick on at Strauch at the near post or Biol, and then Metcher puts it in the bottom corner. Come on. Oh, that's going to be a foul against Leeds there. Strauch, I think, was a bit too handsy in the box, but... Oh my God, that's horrendous. He just dived on the floor. Long ball forward. Headed away by Stack. Calvert-Lewin. Stack heads it forward again. Headed away by Martinez. Only as far as Lucas Mecha, though. Little flick ball back to to Goodmanson, who gives it away again. Good tackle in there by Tanaka. Oh, he's done so well, Tanaka, to switch the point of attack. James Justin now on the right-hand side. Into Piru. Plays it out wide now to Wilfred Nonto. Chance for across the ball in the box. Leeds have got a corner. Claiming for a handball there. Nonto. As Mateus Cunha blocked that. They're having a look at it. Piru with a good ball down the line. It takes him a bit wide, Nonto. If it hits his knee first, it's not a... Yeah, it hits his knee and then hits his arm. So it's. I don't think they're going to give it. Yeah, it's not been given. It's not by the rules of the game, by the law of the land. Don't know why I said law of the land. It's not a penalty. Stack them with the corner into the box. No one challenged for that. Here's Stack again, heading it back in. Back into the box, headed away. Stack heads it back in once more. Piru! Blocked away in the end. Too many players for it to squeeze through. Nonto here. Oh, Nonto's headed it straight to a Man United player. Sesko to Cunha now down the left-hand side. Back now to Luke Shaw. 2.5 minutes left. Sorry, I forgot to add on the added time here. Here's Jacobiol with the ball. Good ball into Wilfred Nonto, who feels like he was fouled there, but he's not been penalised, the Man United player, and Man United carry on here. Ball to Luke Shaw. He's in the edge of the box. Good block there by James Justin. Throw into Man United. Long throw in here from Diogo Dallo. If Leeds can head this away, there's a chance for a counter-attack. Come on, Leeds. I'm honestly, you're taking a draw out of this game. Flicked on. Headed back in. Jacobiol heads it for a second time and then Nonto clears it. Piru chasing down Lisandro Martinez. Here's Lamons. Sends a long ball forward. Forced to by Piru's press. Away by James Justin. Now Calvert-Lewin into Nonto. Nonto still trying to find a pass here. He does well in the end to get the ball to Tanaka. Tanaka with a first-time ball out wide here. So a fantastic ball to Lucas Mecha. Fantastic touch by Lucas Mecha. Mecha on the edge. He tries to slip it into Calvert-Lewin and it's intercepted by Lisandro Martinez in the end. Good tackle again by Tanaka. He's been really good since he's come on, Tanaka, and Leeds go forward again here. Now Lucas Mecha out on the left-hand side. Mecha coming towards the box now. Tries to poke it back once more, but now Xerxes comes away with it. Stack has won it back. Stack. Piru gets a foot on it. Header by Dorgu. It's absolute chaos at the moment. Here's Xerxes trying to come forward with it. Good touch by Strauch to take it away from him. Leeds once more with a chance to come forward. Strauch tackled. Strauch wins it back again. Now Joel Piru down the left-hand side. Still going there, unfortunately taken away by Dallo. Cleared, but only as far as Anton Stack, who shoots from distance way over the bar. Should have kept it. Yeah, Stack just hoofed it over the bar there. Lamons then with a long goal kick. I think we are going to have a little bit of time for the VAR check. Mecha. Now Joel Piru. Good ball down the line from Piru. Mecha now. One last chance for Leeds. It's away there. They're going to keep it in as well, Man United, and clear the ball. Actually, going to be a throw into Leeds. Here's Tanaka. To be honest, I think you need to get the ball in the box, and he does. Calvert-Lewin on the edge. He's got James Justin going beyond him. Tries to cross it in, blocked by Mateus Cunha. And that's going to be the final whistle. And do you know what? We take that. We absolutely take that. Look, we scored. We led for 3 minutes. We conceded. We stayed in the game, and we got a draw out of it. And do you know what? Look, yeah, we do keep drawing, but we keep drawing against top sides. Yes, Sunderland are a newly promoted side, but they're not really considering where they are in the table and how they've performed this season, and it was away from home. These draws that we're picking up are absolutely fine by me, because as long as you are putting points on the board, you do not need to worry, really. You just keep putting them on. 22 points. 22 points for Leeds now. 8 points clear of West Ham. Look, I know that we scored the first goal. Feels like 2 points dropped, etc., etc. But we didn't lose the game. We got another point. We're now 8 points clear of the relegation zone. We keep 7 games unbeaten, and we keep picking up points. First time we've done that since 2001. Yeah, we absolutely take that. Exactly. You would have taken a draw at the start. You would have taken that every day. Exactly. But thank you all for joining me. Thank you all so much for joining me. We've got another game next. Is matches Newcastle next on the 7th. So just 3 days. Then, of course, Derby on the Sunday. It's, we'll be live for all of the games, of course. We'll be doing match previews, match reactions. There'll be a match reaction after this as well, so make sure you come and check that. But yeah, look, I think at this point, as long as you keep picking up points, you keep putting points on the board, you're laughing, really, aren't you, as a newly promoted side? Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all of you who donated as well with the super chats as well. I really appreciate that, and I shall be back with a match reaction very shortly, and of course there will be some transfer news and transfer content as well, because the transfer window is open. So thanks for watching Leeds lately, and I'll see you in the next one.